Welcome, everyone. So, hello to everyone. Welcome to IPASS Online Review and Mentoring Academy. And of course, welcome to Hope Talk. So, what do we do here at Hope Talk is we invite our newest passers, newest USRNs to be inspired by their story and hear their experience and look forward that one day we too may pass this NCLEX. So without further ado, let me welcome our guest for tonight, one of the newest USRNs, and of course, one of the newest passer. Let me welcome Sir Rainer Todrera, USRN.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
First of all, before we start, we would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations on your success towards your NCLEX journey. So, how are you feeling as of the moment?
Now, still Cloud9 and mas kampante na ngayon and I care less na sa trabaho. Hindi na masyadong, alam mo yun, yung parang hindi ka na
Uh,
tinotoxic palagi.
uh,
You feel the confidence, you know.
uh,
But you know, it's also a humbling experience din. And yun, medyo from a time of depression and then you know, you are slowly seeing the path ba where you are heading to.
So we are so excited to hear more about that. And before anything else, we would like to hear a bit of your nursing background. Where and when did you finish your nursing studies? And of course, where have you worked already?
Now I'm currently working in South Bacolod General Hospital as operating room nurse. And then I graduated in 2008 in La Salle University in Bacolod. And then I took the board exam on the same year and became an RN on the same year. And then I worked for several years in dialysis nursing, and then I went abroad. I went to Singapore, and then I went back to Bacolod in 2008. Nagkaroon ng business, you know, and medyo nalihis yung path ko from my nursing career nung umuwi ako. Doon lang nag-start actually nung umuwi ako from Singapore. Pero I worked as a nurse then in Singapore for several years.
Mm.
Yung konting ipon, and then nagkaroon ng small business, and
Mm.
then lumaki siya, nagkaroon ng branch and all. And after that, the pandemic came. It was the hardest part of my life when everything seemed so dark talaga kasi biglaan yun eh. And then all I was thinking that I left my career in Singapore and then nag-business, and then totally I turned my back to nursing profession.
Mm.
And then nung bumalik na yung situation after the pandemic, binagyo na naman ulit yung business ko. Nung binagyo siya during that time, it was wiped out. Everything gone in just one click.
Yeah, we would just like to go back a little with your experience. So you finished your nursing at La Salle at Bacolod.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you continued your nursing career as you became a dialysis nurse, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Then you went to Singapore.
I work in Civil Defense Force in Singapore. I work
Mm.
as sa school kasi ako, and then may nursing doon sa Singapore, and then parang clinical instructor din, and then I do also teaching inside the classroom and then also in nursing areas. So ayun, and then after that mga 4 years din ako doon in Singapore. I work as a nurse instructor there.
And working on the side in the
Yes.
hospital, because I've heard before that when you practice in Singapore, you have to take different courses, right?
Yes.
Um,
I
and
was able to finish schooling for two programs in Singapore. It was sponsored by my company. Bali, nung time nandun, after 2 years ako of working in Singapore, my company was able to sponsor me for a program para makapag-teach ako dun. So, ayun. And then after years, then I was able to teach. Naging eligible ako to teach in Singapore. Then after that, I went home in 2008. Ayun.
and what pushed you to go back here in the Philippines? I mean, you've been working abroad,
I
so
don't know. I was thinking
yeah.
back then kasi nung 2008 nag-graduate ako, and then kumuha ako ng board, and then nag-work as a nurse, and then for many, many years, kung 2008 and then I went back in 2018 after working 10 years continuously in nursing, gusto ko naman parang maiba. Alam mo 'yun, yung parang
Kumbaga you've
ah,
experienced that meltdown, no? With your practice, like you're so tired
hindi ko
being
siguro
sober in the
ma-describe
morning.
it as,
You wanna break.
parang na-tired
Uh,
ako, hindi siguro. Pero I mean, parang gusto ko maiba yung passion ko. Pero hindi hindi nag-iba yung love ko towards
mm,
nursing
mm,
profession. Kasi
mm,
at the same time, nagkakaroon pa din ako ng mga activities within the scope of nursing. Like for example, I went with a group of doctors and nurses who are helping those people who are unable to go to surgeries. We go to rural areas and helping people. So hindi pa rin nawawala yung love ko
mm,
sa nursing. Although
mm,
even though na meron akong business, pero I want to
mm,
excel also in some other areas. So ayun nga. Pero parang pilit akong ni God binabalik sa nursing profession no
mm,
after nung nangyari sa akin. But during the after the audit, everything was wiped out. Grabe yung depression ko and all these things. But in June 2022, I was hired by Health Carousel Philippines. And then yun, after nag-process ako ng mga papers ko and all, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity with IPASS, batch
mm,
cycle 10. That was in April 2023. Alam mo yun, yung parang ang hirap mag-review nung sa kagaliangan ng depression,
mm,
in ito, everything was wiped out, everything God has taken away from you. You don't have
mm,
the time na mag-aral kahit enrolled ka na sa IPASS. Alam mo yun, yung parang kahit gustuhin mo mag-aral pero parang ang hirap.
mm,
Dragging kasi pag you are in a depression. Kahit ano pa yung reason na yon, but if you are in that feeling ba na parang may kulang, dragging siya during your time na
mm,
nagre-review ako. But I was lucky enough kasi nasa IPAS ako. And I would like to thank people like Miss Jessie and Miss Jackie who has been there na alam mo yon yung parang kahit hindi kayo nagkakilala personally pero
mm,
they have a time to call you and to email you, kinakamusta ka, na parang alam mo yon yung parang magkatabi lang kayo. I feel the comfort kasi nung time na sobrang depressed ako while reviewing. Yung first take ko, I was failed. Nag-enroll ako sa IPASS April. I took
mm.
my first exam in August, but unluckily I was failed. Due pa din sa, alam mo yon yung maraming nangyari sa akin.
I would just like to go back a bit, no, with your experience because I could imagine how painful that for you, experiencing Odette. I've talked to a lot of people in Palawan before, and they shared their experience of Odette, and it is very traumatizing for them. So I could just imagine how painful that was for you, and how did it affected you personally, and how did it push you towards your NCLEX journey? Because I believe you were focusing on your business and suddenly you decided to continue your NCLEX and do the review.
Nung nag-negative lahat sa yung
Mm,
account, yung business and all,
mm,
kahit sabihin mo na, "Ay, babalik ako sa nursing kasi love ko 'to." Hindi, babalik ako sa nursing because this is my only way out.
mm,
I will
mm,
take the exams. I will even though hindi alam mo yun, yung parang yung iba kasi, yung mga story natin as a nurse ay kukuha ko ng NCLEX kasi I am dreaming to go to America, you
mm,
know? Ako, it's my fallback kasi nalugi ako. I'm negative. Almost everything was taken away from me. So I have to go back to my own profession and took chance
mm,
na ipasa
mm,
yung NCLEX.
mm,
So ayun, luckily yun nga na-hire ako sa Health Carousel and then nag-enroll ako sa IPASS. Yung choice na babalik sa nursing, it was not a choice na dahil I want to go back kasi passion ko 'to. I want to go back because I have to keep going. I have to. I have to rise up. Otherwise, wala. This is my only way out.
And I mean, this is different perspective, no, that anyone could relate to, because there are really a lot of us, no, going abroad, not just for the sake of being in the US, but for the sake to be able to provide for my family and to
Correct.
have that, to earn a living, di ba?
Correct.
Because
Iba
it's not
kasi yung
enough.
passion, no?
Mm, mm, mm.
Is iba kasi
Of course, there's the
yung
passion. Di
oo,
ba? I mean, there's the passion, but having this motivation, no, to
correct.
rise
Oo.
up and get back from your feet, no, is something much, kumbaga, larger than your passion. But don't get us wrong, no, you still have your passion, but it's just the biggest motivation for your journey is to get back off your feet.
Correct. Yun. Alam mo yun, yung parang, yung iba nagtatanong, ay, because, I want an American dream. You know, ay, kumuha ako ng NCLEX kasi gusto ko talaga, I want to practice my profession in America. Ikaw, pag tinatanong ka, because this is my only way out. Alam mo yun, yung parang,
Mm,
gusto ko, pero mas kailangan ko to in order for me to regain myself
mm, mm,
and to
mm,
regain everything, you know?
mm,
Yung story na gano'n.
mm,
So, anyway, nung na-fail ako on the first attempt sa NCLEX, naka-receive ako ng evaluation na nearly passing. Alam mo yun, yung parang I feel devastated talaga. Yung parang, yung depression ko nadagdagan, you know? You're knowing that, yun, alam mo yun, yung parang the night is so long and so dark that you are not hoping for the morning to come anymore. You know,
mm,
you're feeling helpless, helpless na parang wala ng chance to. Kahit
mm,
nag-aral ako, kahit siguro nag-aral ako kasi pinilit ko. Parang alam mo yun, ang daming pumapasok sa isip mo. Yung
mm,
parang siguro yung hindi enough yung aral ko kasi siguro pinilit ko lang. Madaming questions, you feel lonely, you feel empty, you feel kulang,
mm,
inadequate of
mm,
everything. Alam mo yun yung parang, but I really appreciate Miss Jessie. She always calling me sa condo ko. Yung mahirap pa kasi nung sa condo ako lang mag-isa. You know what, sir, August, September, October, my
mm,
second attempt was October 23rd.
mm,
Alam mo ba, sa 3 months na yon, in less than 5 times lang ako bumaba ng condominium. Lahat ng food delivered. I hardly can put my feet on the ground.
mm,
I was living 23rd floor of my
mm,
condominium, and alam mo yun, yung parang the only sound that you will hear is the birds chirping
mm,
and yung ulan. Yun lang, alam mo yun, yung parang ang sobrang bigat, but I keep on praying. What keeps me going is the strength that comes from my prayer. Dito ko nalaman that you cannot underestimate the power of prayer. Ang pagkuha ng NCLEX is not just knowledge. I was struck with this word, not by our own power, not
mm,
by our own might, but by the Spirit. So, ito yung something na we may have our chariots and horses sa life natin. Meron tayong review resources, meron tayong recorded videos and all, but we should trust more in the Lord. Kailangan natin to, but we also kailangan din natin ng passion, and prayer. Kasi hindi enough yung para ipasa lang. Hindi
ah,
enough
yeah.
yung review resources. Kailangan natin ng meditation within ourselves spiritually.
Looking back to your experience, there are some comments here that they could relate to your experience, and I think this is very relatable to everyone, no? Because even if we don't really share it to all of our friends, we don't share it at class because we are focused on the lectures, but we are experiencing the same things. We are experiencing this kind of depression, stress, no, at some point we also experience hopelessness, no, especially, no, we could really feel it the way you share your experience with us, the frustration towards passing this NCLEX, because this is the only way you have to get up from your downfall, no, and you're doing your best to pass this exam. That's why you put every effort to it, no, to a point that you don't really leave your condominium too much. But at the end of it, after all of those sacrifices you have made, you failed the first day. That's relatable now on my part because I also failed
Yeah,
my NCLEX.
I
Yeah.
na-point out ko 'to kasi
Mm,
marami kasi sa mga comments doon sa GC na alam mo 'yun, yung parang, "I'm working 12 hours,
mm,
may anak ako, I
mm,
cannot hardly, I cannot get a piece of pages sa reviewer ko kasi busy ako." You know, these things is it's all the same. Kung meron kang depression, how much more, 'di
mm,
ba?
mm,
Na you have the opportunity to open your book, but your mind is wala diyan. Yung sarili mo wala sa review. Yung iba, that's why we have every excuses sa
mm,
review.
mm,
May anak tayo, I'm working 18 hours, I'm working 12 hours, 16 hours. Ay, hindi ako makaano kasi ganito, ganyan. Ay, parehas lahat yan. How much more kung may depression ka, you know? So that's why I'm pointing out, depende sa passion mo talaga to pass the exam. Regardless of where you are right now, regardless of that, if you have the heart and the drive to pass the exam and to get up and improve yourself, meron way.
mm.
Regardless kung saan ka man ngayon.
Wow. Mm. And I mean, I've shared it before, no? Of course, we are so hopeful when it comes to passing your NCLEX. IPASS is geared towards passing the NCLEX, the new generation of NCLEX, and whatever that is, no? And also to improve you being a great nurse, no?
And yun yung ina-appreciate ko talaga sa IPAS.
Yes,
That
yes.
that the coaches are very focused
Mm-mm,
doon sa mga kumbaga fragile students.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
Ay, medyo kailangan niya ng help. And they are calling us, no,
mm-mm,
yun yung ina-appreciate ko sa isa sa mga program ng IPAS, that we are not just students in this institution. We are not just people who are just listening and learning, but we are like a shepherd. And sinasalo natin ang bawat isa. So na-appreciate ko kasi just to think 700 to 900 people in a
mm-mm,
class or 400,
mm-mm,
bakit nalaman nila na that you are undergoing ng ganyan? And you need a focus and you need a backup.
mm-mm,
So it's one of the programs that I really appreciate IPAS talaga.
mm-mm. And yun nga, no, I mean, your story reminds us, no, of what I've shared before, that even if we are so hopeful about passing the NCLEX and the examination, we have to face the truth. No, we have to face the truth
Yeah,
that NCLEX is harsh. NCLEX
correct.
is a standard. No, it will not adjust to your own experience. Not just because, oh, I'm improved naman a lot, eh, 'di ba? I mean,
Mm,
I improved a lot. I've studied a lot. I've memorized a lot of things, and yet you can still fail if you don't
yeah,
reach that standard. So
correct.
it's really harsh. It's really harsh, but it's a wake up call for everyone. That what you've shared with us, no, na sabi mo nga, if you cannot reach it, then do something about it. You have to put an extra effort. If you cannot make it by doing this thing, then you have to do something extra. You have to do something more. You have to have that push, eh. Kasi that's the reality. Reality check,
Totoo
no?
yan. You
That's
cannot
why,
say na,
diba?
alam mo
That's
yun,
why
yung
not
parang,
everyone
may
trusts the NCLEX.
trabaho ako 12 hours. So ano ngayon?
Oh, exactly, exactly. And it's a beautiful point. At the same time, of course, it's kind of hard for everyone, no, to digest that NCLEX is hard. But it's true, no?
Yeah,
NCLEX is hard. That's why we're here for you guys, no?
totoo
Uh,
yan.
that's why
Totoo
you
yan.
have iPass with you. That's why not everyone passed the NCLEX. If it's that easy, then everyone should have passed.
Correct.
Oh, diba?
Totoo yan.
So
This
there
is
are
a
struggles.
battle actually.
And I really like that point, no? Sabi nga nila, sometimes you learn it the hard way. I relate to your experience because I took my first NCLEX without really preparing too much. I trusted myself, my past experience, and what I've experienced is I failed. It was very frustrating doing your best and yet failed. no?
Yeah,
So it's a wake-up call that we have to reach that standard. This is a standard. It will not bend to your capabilities or your
correct.
capacity. You
Hindi
have
mag-a-adjust yung NCLEX sa'yo.
exactly, no? Exactly. And you just
So,
that's very no, I mean, your experiencer, no, you've experienced depression, and that's a very sensitive topic, and of course very sensitive experience that you have. But the reality is NCLEX will not adjust to the
yeah,
experience.
wala siyang kinikilala.
Yes, but we are here, no, as IPASS. That's the reason why we have this coaching session, because we know that some of you might experience these things. That's why we also have our in-house, no, psychologist or
Hmm,
counselor. Uh,
meron din ako niya.
Oh, yeah. So if you would need one, no, if you are experiencing something bad, we're nurses, eh. No, you have to accept the fact that you would need help. If you think that you need help with this kind of depression, then we are here for you guys. No, IPAS is here for you. We have an in-house psychologist. We your coaches are here with you. And aside from that, no, you have your classmates with you, your batchmates that are supporting you. Sabi mo nga, sir, this is not just that's one thing that you emphasize about the support that you get from the
IPASS.
family,
Yeah.
I think that's so good. What were your experience about that?
Ito yung pinaka ano, kasi yung psychologist lagi natawag yan sa akin, and then also may backup ako from Miss Jessie. And then nung time na yon is nung na-fail ako, si Miss Jackie encourage sa akin na, "Rain, you have to, based on your evaluation, you have to take the exam as soon as possible habang andyan ka pa. Kasi parang konting push na lang 'to." Okay. So ngayon, without any hesitations, I asked for a leave of 60 days. So 60 days, nag-review ako, nag-focus ako. Kasi yun nga, yung sa isip ko is walang pakialam yung NCLEX sa'yo kung nasa depression ka. Kung hindi naman nila alam yun eh.
Mm-mm.
Kung saan ka ngayon or kung ano ka, you know, you have to keep the fire burning in your heart. If there's a chance to improve, improve. Kasi hindi sila mag-a-adjust, hindi sila magsasabi sa'yo na, okay, sige, ipapass natin to kasi na-depress siya. Hindi pwede yung ganon. So you have to make an effort and you have to stay focused. 60 days, I asked for leave, and then on October 23rd, kumuha ko ng exam. Ulit, na-approve ng BON, and then yun nga, si Sir Stevens, Miss Jackie, IPASS processing was also my backup during those times na biglaan nagpa-reschedule. Alam mo yun, yung parang kaka-fail lang tapos have the confidence na kukuha ulit. Siguro, hindi naman siguro confident yun. I mean, hindi naman siguro ako confident noon. Pero yung parang, alam mo yun, yung parang usually kasi 'pag depressed ka, you don't listen to people. You only listen to your mind and to your heart.
Mm.
So, what I did was to listen to people around me kasi sila yung nakaka-observe kung how I was doing on how I'm doing with my exams, with my, work tracker, and yung mga test questions natin and all. Sila yung nakakaalam. So, I have to listen from them. So, nung sinabi ni Ma'am Jackie that I have to retake as soon as possible, then okay, sige. I took the exam, pero nagstay focused ako for the 40 days kasi I have to fly to Manila, and then kailangan ko mag-adjust ng sarili ko doon. Kasi although we have house there in Parañaque, but I have to live in a condominium para maging focused ako na, alam mo yun, yung parang ito lang yung inaatupag ko. Pero although kahit, alam mo yun, bumabalik pa rin yung anxiety, but I don't have any choice. But anyway, on October 23rd, kumuha ako ng exams. Ito yung kakatawa sa lahat. I don't know. Hindi to nakakatawa, pero it will serve as an inspiration and a reminder to everyone. Run out of time ako. Run out of time rule, 95% fail. Sa lahat 'yon. ROOT rule, failed. You know what? 135, nung clinic ko siya, nag-flash 136, and then nag-flash yung run out of time. Naubos ko yung 5 hours.
Mm. Mm.
1:35 run out of time. Only few people will pass a run out of time rule as per NCSBN. You can see the link about run out of time rule kasi parang manual checking yun. They will disregard the 95% satisfaction sa 85 question, and then they will count another 95% from the items where you stop backwards. Another 95%. So you must have 95% confidence talaga after 85 items. Yun yung rule ng run out of time rule. Kasi nga, wala silang pagbabasihan. Kasi namatay na yung computer. So, alam mo yun, yung parang grabe yung depression ko na parang, ito yung funny. Lumabas ako ng Pearson View Makati. Kasama ko yung nagbabantay ng Pearson View. Alam mo yun, yung parang, Diyos ko, ano ba itong nangyayari sa buhay ko? Lahat-lahat na lang. Alam mo yun, yung parang nagsimula ako ng 5:30, lumabas ako ng 10:00 na gabi. Kasama ko na yung guard, tsaka yung nagbabantay ng person view. Ako na lang mag-isa sa testing room. Imagine. And then run out of time ka. Ano yung, alam mo yun, yung parang sobrang experience. So parang, alam mo yun, I was crying all over. I was walking around Tordesillas. I was walking around Ayala Ave. I was crying all over. Bumalik ako sa bahay. Bumalik ako sa bahay sa condo. Sinarado ko yung pinto, sinarado ko yung kortina. I was crying all night long until the next day. You know, instead of having guilt and instead of resentment, alam mo yun, yung parang blaming myself, guilt, and all these things, hindi ko mas inisip ko thanking the Lord during that time. I was praising and worshiping the Lord kasi natapos na yung agony ko. I did not say na makakapasa ako. I was thinking na failed ako kasi sino ba nakakapasa sa run out of time? Even nag-search ako sa US, only few students in the United States got passed on a ROOT rule, run out of time rule. Konti lang sa US. Hindi ko nga alam kung dito sa IPASS meron din.
Yes, yes. I
Um,
had a student before, no, just sharing it with you guys, no. Kasi there is a comment, nangyayari pala talaga yan. Of course, it happens. 5 hours could seem to be too long, but if you're there already, no, it's not so much time, no. 5 hours. Especially if you find the questions very hard to answer and you take too much time answering, you won't get notice the time, no, is ticking, and you'll get that 5 hours. So it
mer
happens.
yung mahirap kasi nun nung time na yun is yung mga choices ko, may stand alone ako pero puro cases. Walang tanong, pero 4 na choices, puro mga case. Tapos yung tanong lang dun, alin yung priority mo? Uy, Diyos ko, ano 'to? Alam mo yun, parang pinagsama yung lahat ng case study sa isang question. Yung parang ganyan, yung parang it's very draining talaga. Yung parang alam mo yun, yung parang instead of having guilt, nag-pray ako. I was thanking the Lord kasi tapos na yung agony ko. Maybe it's not my time yet. And meron na akong acceptance that time. And then wala akong guilt noon, pero I was crying all over, and then until the next day. And then ang dami ng email yung person view sa akin, hindi ko binabasa. Yun pala is pass.
Wow, wow, wow. This is one of the few cases, no, I've heard that reached the time limit and passed, no.
Oo.
Oh, and how's that experience? Because I could just imagine, no, how devastating you felt that night, no, finishing the exam, not being able to finish all the items because you reached the time limit, and going home. Sabi mo nga, you have accepted the time. You have already accepted na
Defeat.
maybe I failed. Oo, oo. And it's hard for you because remember, no, going back to your experience, you failed it once, no? And the urge to really pass this time is kumbaga it's already in your in your veins, no? Parang gusto ko na ipasa 'to, tama na, 'di ba, no? I could really relate to that experience of thank you Lord, it's over. The agony is over. Even if I don't know if I pass or not, but the agony is over. Because it's really hard to review for this examination. And how was your experience when you received the result that you passed on the second day?
Alam mo yun, parang wala akong guilt kasi hindi ako nagalit sa hindi ako nagalit dun sa prayer ko. Wala akong guilt. I was happy about it. And, yung parang, alam mo yun, yung parang wala kang, it was really indeed for you. Binigay talaga sa'yo yun. And then, you really did something. Ginawa mo yung part mo. Nag-review ka talaga. Kasi, sa ROOT, sa run out of time rule, usually, natatapos nila yung 200 items. But mine, hanggang 135 lang. So ngayon, sa 85, may 95% ka na dun. So from 135, counting back 95%. So that means you only got only few wrong answers. So that means ginawa mo talaga yung part mo. Nag-review ka talaga. Even though it's hard and all, meaning to say, although unsure ako, although may doubt ako if tama to or hindi, but you did your part. It shows the result of your exam. Hindi yun, ay, pasang-awa or what. You really did good because it's 95-95 yun yung counting nun.
Yeah. I mean, those who are doubting themselves, if I really passed or not, that's very, relatable what you've said, no, that you really passed the exam. If you will not pass that exam, walang pasang-awa dyan sa NCLEX,
Yeah,
no? You,
correct.
you will see a result, eh. It's very relatable for those who failed because you will get a summary of your performance, right, sir? So
Yeah, correct.
yeah, I've also received that before, and you would see if you really made it. If you are above the standard, below the standard, or near the standard.
Near the standard.
Even if you're near the standard,
Hindi
it's
ka papasa.
not pass.
You
Yes,
have,
exactly.
if you are run out of time, you need to have above standard.
So there, no, I mean, it's really the preparation, and of course, I think you just enjoyed the exam at the time, and I could relate to your experience, what you were sharing with us, no, about being able to be kumbaga parang satisfied, not really happy that I passed, no, you don't know if you passed, you don't know if you failed, but you were happy that you did your best, you did
Yeah,
your best. And
yeah.
that's very common for those who failed it once. I mean, I could relate to that because during my first take, I know I did it, I didn't really
Yeah,
did the best that I could. And this time, the second time around, even if I finished the examination, even if I don't know if I passed or I failed, I was happy because I gave it justice. No, the failing at once. No, I gave it justice now by doing my best and putting everything I have on that examination. And it's just so rewarding to see that you passed.
rewarding.
No,
Rewarding, yeah. It is
and
a rewarding experience. Hindi siya overwhelming. Hindi siya overwhelming. Pero,
right.
you're thankful, yung feeling. And it's nakaka-bless kasi yung experience na gano'n. And this experience will serve as an inspiration to other students as well. If you are in doubt of yourself, keep your feet on the ground. If you are in doubt, just keep going. Kasi
Mm.
you will never know.
Kumbaga parang no, this is what we call really, it's already a cliche though, trust the process, no?
Yeah.
We always say
Kasi,
that, trust the process, but the process is really hard. To a point you will doubt if this is the right process, if
correct.
you are in the right path.
Ang
And
dami kasing tanong sa isip natin and nadi-discourage tayo. Usually, along the way, may mga discouragement na nangyayari sa atin. Kasi we are in doubt.
I mean, we can never really be sure, eh.
Mm,
Kasi it's the experience that even though there are a lot of people that would inspire you, that would tell you na, oh no, you can do the exam. I've seen the result, you can do it, but without really facing the examination itself, you still feel that anxiety, you still feel that guilt, and of course that whatever that is, that would keep you doubting yourself, and of course your preparation. But the main goal here, no, and of course the main point is to look at these people. That's why we have this hope talk. That's why we have the coaching session, because we've experienced that. No, Sir Rainier experienced that. Most probably, there are people, no, who are here live watching our Facebook Live on IPASS processing page, and of course here on our Zoom link, that experienced the same thing, and you wouldn't know na, oh, si Sir Rainier pala, no, he passed the NCLEX, but he also experienced these things, no? And because it's easy to celebrate once you've passed, di ba?
Yeah,
It's easy to say,
totoo
oh, I've
yan.
done NCLEX because I've already done it. No, I've passed. But if you will ask me, how long did it took me? How many tears did I shed for this examination? You would see, you would relate that your experience is almost the same with our experience.
Yeah,
And this is the beauty of Hope Talk, for you to realize that you are not alone. Yeah?
correct. Yeah,
And if we made it, no, even if me myself, no, failed it on my first take, you too can pass it, no.
yeah,
Even if you fail the first time, the second time, that just doesn't really matter. What matters is you have that, what you've told us, no, you should have that gut, you should have that faith, that
mm,
even though you doubt yourself, even though you doubt na, will this really work, no, especially on those moments that you were taken by the time, di ba? But you just put it there. Sabi mo nga, one of the most important key words, no, that I've heard from you is your faith, no, your prayer with God, because most probably, you cannot really do this alone. And of course, that's the temptation, eh? That's the temptation of failing, no, of always thinking that you are alone. If you will think that you're alone and it's really a hard journey, then you will not do anything about it. But if you will see Sir Rainier, me, Coach Justino, and other classmates that we have who have experienced the same things and passed, so you will look forward to it. That someday me too will be there in that hope talk, no, sharing my experience, being an inspiration. If now I'm, kumbaga, reaching for the inspiration from Sir Rainier, from Sir Justin, and other coaches and lecturers, next time I will be the one that will be the source of inspiration. Have you thought of that, sir? Because you were telling us, no, a while ago, that during your preparation there were really times that you really felt down, and it's just what strengthens you are the people that you supported you, keep on calling you Mom Jessie, no, shout out natin Mom Jessie, Mom Jackie, that is always there asking you how are you doing. So what was your experience about that?
during that time, si Ma'am Jackie and Miss Jessie, siguro it might be like a routine for them to check for students, but it has an impact kasi on our end na experience yung mga ganito. We are in the process of taking the exams. Para sa kanila, it might be na it's just an ordinary kumusta, but it makes sense to us. It makes so much sense to us, and it makes it has a great impact talaga sa amin. Alam mo yun, yung parang kung nag-go through ka sa ganito, a little how are you means a lot to us. Kasi importante talaga yan eh. Nagkakaroon kami ng encouraging environment pag ganyan. So, meron kasi ibang mga student na ayaw nila papadisturbo. Gusto nila, they have just to listen to their mind and to their heart. Kasi alam ko, ako yung nakakaalam nito. Pero maganda din minsan that we have to listen to our coaches, and we have to listen to the people around us.
Sabi nga ng ano, no, I just remember, no, sometimes God speaks through the people around us.
Yeah. They could be the instrument of the Lord.
No,
Parang,
you really just have to listen and to put your heart to it. Of course, it's hard to be sure na you are ready, na you're for this NCLEX, that you will pass the NCLEX. But sabi ko nga, it's a cliche, but trust the process. Our goal here at IPASS is not just to help you pass the exam. It's not really the goal. If you will talk to Sir J, if you will hear Sir J, no, Sir J would always share stories and even some topics, no, that is not really trending in NCLEX, but he shares it anyway. Why? Because it's not our goal just to help you pass the exam. The main goal of IPASS is to make you a USRN even before you take that exam. So that exam will just be a kumbaga an acknowledgement of you being a USRN. So how's the experience? I mean, looking back to your experience with all the struggles, with all the depressions, and of course your including no the experience you've experienced with your business. What are you going to? How can you process all these things now that you've passed?
May konting realization na ako, na alam mo yun, parang kahit ano pa yung mga dilubyo nararanasan natin or anything na humihila sa atin, always remember that the Lord did not promise us a good life, but I know He is faithful to His promise. Yun yung pinanghahawakan ko lang talaga after passing all these things, after passing the exams and all. And now I'm in the process of getting my I-140 approval. And
Wow.
napakabilis, napakabilis kasi nung time na gumagawa ko ng card ng isi-share ko, na-realize ko na parang alam mo yun, parang na-hire ako ng June 2022. That was just more than a year. And then yung pumasok ako ng IPASS was April. Pumasok ako ng August, it's just less than a year.
Hmm.
Pero yung iniisip ko all the while, sobrang haba ng time and all. You know,
Mm-mm.
I just realized na ang bilis pala.
Mm-mm.
Feeling ko lang
Oo.
matagal kasi alam mo yun, yung parang marami kasing discouragement, marang temptation sa isip mo, but you have to stay focused talaga.
And of course, no, I mean, the real reason of your success is not just the exam day itself. Looking back to your experience, sir, no, the most vital part of your experience that I've seen, no, with you passing the NCLEX is really that part when you lose everything and you still chose to move forward because it's hard. There are a lot of it's easier to just okay give up, no, failing once, okay, dito para sa akin, that's it. It's easier to do that, but no, even though it's painful, no, even though it's painful to take the exam again after failing it, it's traumatic, di ba? So even if you failed it once and you've had all this depression and all, you don't really have a choice but to just move forward even if you don't like it, no,
Hmm,
even if you're not comfortable with it, you moved forward, and that's what made you successful.
yeah. Alam mo kung ano, what kept me going, during that time is, hindi ko Lord alam kung ibibigay mo 'to sa'kin, but it might be a good story of success, and it will serve as an inspiration to other students as well. Hindi ko alam hindi ko alam kung makakapasa or hindi, but I think this might be a good story.
Wow.
Kasi andito na ako, eh.
Mm,
All I have to do is to go move on and pass the exam. Wala na
mm,
akong choice, eh, wala na akong ibang way out.
mm.
Ito lang, and this might serve as an inspiration to other students.
Wow. And as one once, no, Steve Jobs once said, no, it's always hard looking forward. It's always hard to look forward, but it's always clear looking back. Connecting the dots looking back is clearer than looking forward. Sometimes there are things that is happening in our life and you ask, why? Why? Diba? And yet you keep moving forward. And when you go look back, no, those things, those experiences are necessary for me to go here, wherever I
Being
am.
resilient talaga.
Wow. Mm. And you are the epitome of resilience. No, after all of the experience that you've had, no, you chose to move forward, to keep going, and that's the harsh reality of life. No, I mean, it doesn't just talk about the exam. It also talks about life, no? Sometimes life gives us lemons, no? And you cannot just cry on the corner because the world will keep moving forward, eh. 'Di ba?
Mm. Yeah.
It doesn't really care if you're crying now, if you're sad now, if you don't like your job, if you don't like the situation you are in. It doesn't really care.
Yeah.
The world will continue moving forward. And for you to be able to catch up, you have to start moving forward too.
Yeah. Correct.
Wow. So resilience, no, in the midst of struggles and all that
In the
painful.
midst of hardship.
Yes. So that was very very inspiring, no? And I hope, no, everyone, some of our classmates who are experiencing the same things could get a lesson from this hope talk, not to give up. Because it's easier to just give up, eh. Whenever you feel struggles na, 12 hours ang duty ko. Di na kaya ng duty ko. May responsibility ako sa family. I'm experiencing depression. I'm experiencing a lot of things. It's easier to just say, okay, I'll stop. But it's hard to move forward. But look at Sir Rainier, no? Only those who continue could get that success. Di
Correct.
ba? So, parang we cannot really be sure if we will pass or not, if you will continue this journey. But you have the chance. This is the only option that will give you a chance to pass, however small that is. If you will just give up, then there is really 100% no chance for you to reach this dream. So you really have to just focus and, of course, give it your all. And I really like how Sir Rainier, no, manifest all these things that after all the struggles he've experienced, hardships, and whatever that is, no, he just keep moving forward, even if it's painful. Sabi mo nga, it's kind of hard to just after failing the exam, being asked to take it again, no? But what you did was, okay, okay. So,
Kasi yun nga nasa isip ko, 'pag depressed ka pala, hindi yun sila yung mga taong hindi nagle-listen sa tao. So feeling ko, sige, oo, mag-listen na lang ako kay Miss Jackie. Kasi close-minded sila, eh, close yung heart nila.
so I mean, it's very inspiring, no, and we are so happy, sir, no, and me too, no, is so happy and so proud of what you have achieved, and there are a lot of things you will achieve more. I felt goosebumps, no, especially when you told us na after all the struggles I've experienced, it just took me 1 year.
Yeah.
You thought it has been a very long time.
Yeah. I think it has, alam mo yun yung parang if you are in the midst of your agony, you feel that the night is so long and so dark that
Mm,
you are hopeless to see the morning anymore. Wala nang umaga. I hardly see the dawn. Feeling
mm.
ko hindi, wala nang umaga 'to. Feeling ko gano'n.
But then looking back, it just took him 1 year to
Yeah,
finally
I
reach.
realized na ano pa
And now
yeah,
you're
less than a
working with your
year.
papers. Imagine, no? And now you are working with your papers going to US.
Yeah.
And that's very inspiring, no? Grabe, goosebumps. So we are so proud of you, Sir Rainier. And with that, I will just give you a moment, no, to thank anyone you would like to thank. And of course, give an advice to our classmates who are also doubting themselves, those who have experienced failures before, not just once, twice, thrice, no, and those who are doubting, is this the right path for me? And of course, those who are experiencing mental health problems as of the moment and taking the exam.
First of all, I would like to thank IPASS, lahat ng team, especially Miss Jackie and Miss Jessie. Everyone who kept in touch with me during the time na kumukuha ako ng exams and until now. Also to Sir Fern, he was been with me the first time I took the test. And to my classmates, do not underestimate the power of prayer. We may have our chariots and horses, our review resources, our coaches and all, but we should trust more in the name of the Lord our God. And always keep this in your heart. The Lord did not promise us a good life, but I know He is faithful to His promise. Do your part. Always, always see, opportunity. Don't make excuses kasi common sa lahat yan. Walang student na wala siyang excuse. Lahat may excuse. Make an extra effort and you do your part and the Lord will take care of the rest.
Wow. Again, Sir Rainier Todrera, USRN. We are so proud of you. With that, sir, I would like to present this certificate. Pa-certificate kami yan. So this is your
Thank
NCLEX
you.
certificate given to Rainier Todrera for successfully passing the NCLEX-RN examination. This serves as a proof that Rainier Todrera is a safe nurse based on the USA Standards of Nursing Practice. Given this 30th of November 2023, signed by Sir J. Padong and Sir Mark Zaspa. Again, Sir Rainier Todrera, USRN. We are so proud of you. Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
IPASS processing made easy for you. IPASS